Sal.
Which you take?
Who'd you introduce me to, man? It was a bull.
Man, you told me it was safe here.
You set me up. You gotta do it.
But you do have to dance because that's what we do. Here it comes.
Oh, you guys caught me in now?
Oh,
there it is. Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tony the Kid coming in strong this morning. Hanging out under the bridge downtown. Yeah. Under the bridge downtown. Down by the river. Of course, welcome in. This is Bridging Civil Tension. This show is where we feel you can have conversations, build a bridge rather than blow one up, because you never know when you're going to need it. If you don't agree, shake hands, go back to your sides, but don't blow the bridge up. Of course, the host with the most, the guy, the number one man, he is a father. He is an entrepreneur, a award-winning author. And we got his books here too. He is a mentor, coach, all-around good guy, playing the part of the African-American Phil Wallace, everybody.
Father of Maverick of the Year.
Yeah, you got Maverick of the Year.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh,
Congratulations.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Year,
So he getting
Oh,
his
that's
stuff
cool.
down there.
That's
nice.
good. Not bad.
Chip out the old
Chip out the old
Thank God.
That was
Take it.
despite me.
That's right. Nice. That's fun. That is fun. And of course, sitting at the table today, we've got Tony the Kid from the Reject Rundown.
Thank you.
You can find them this weekend
That's right.
at noon. So Saturday at noon.
At noon. Right.
And we're going live through the pay-per-view event.
Yeah, that's right. We're watching Night of the Champions WWE event over in Saudi Arabia, so we are going to have a hell of a good time.
Yeah,
I don't know what we're gonna order this time. Normally we do Wingstop, but last time here in Lakemore, Wingstop messed up our order. So we're like, we're gonna probably do something different. We'll do something different. Let's try.
And he'll be.
Yeah. Oh yes, we did. We did that for the first live show. That was phenomenal.
So the last name, yours.
Oh, mine,
Yeah.
Colin.
Right.
Or enunciation, Colleen, if they say it in Spanish. But
so playing the other brown person,
Trust me.
playing the other brown person today.
Teammate.
Maybe,
Okay.
we got to gang up. Gang up.
And of course,
Do you feel safe?
And of
Do you
course,
feel safe?
I'm Kent. I'm CFO, owner of DDOE Enterprises, 216, Creator Studios, 216 Net, and I will play the part of the majority, white.
Right. I'm like 13%, 6%. Yeah, you still winning.
Yeah, you still winning. You got it. That's right.
I'm just history. That's all.
That's right.
Just history.
Just spin
Listen,
facts.
quick shout out to our good friends over at Natural Therapy Wellness Center. Listen, they have acupuncture, yoga massage, deep tissue massage, sports massage. If you are stressed, they will make you feel blessed. Check them out at www.mchenrymassage.com, 815-385-8190. Call John and his team over there. Absolutely. If you have never gotten a massage, go for it. And you're a man. I mean, that's where the book came from, right? You need to get a massage.
You do. I had one once, and man, my back, I swear it was a pain, but also as soon as I got done off that table, I felt like a cotton ball, just like rolling down.
So that's what
nice.
My youngest Lucy, she asked Alice when she was little, she goes, Mom, did you want to have another girl? And Alice goes, I wanted a massage.
We all know we're massage.
Hey. Stick around, folks. I'm here all weekend. That's
like zing.
Yeah, girl, I'll give you a massage.
I'm sorry. Folks.
You want the warm oil?
It is.
You still watching?
It is Memorial Day weekend, right? So it is, yes, Jan, good morning, and Scott's out there as well. Listen, this is a time to kind of reflect and look back for the people who really built this nation, defended this nation, gave us a lot of the freedoms, and that's what we want to kind of talk about a little bit today.
Okay,
right? It is that, and there's some things probably that some things So there's some people involved in history that I'm sure a lot of people are unaware of that played such a significant role. Right. And we can go back to we can go all the way back to the Civil War, right? Okay. Where there was 130-some thousand African Americans who died, right? Who fought and died. A little known fact here. Did she at least get the background? No.
Never got to it.
Yeah. Is there a time limit?
Yeah.
More of a sympathy pat afterwards.
That's right.
Sorry about that. That was fun.
I swear it's never happened before. Good morning, gentlemen. SG3 in the house. So here's something I learned prepping for the show about the Civil War is that our African American friends were paid $10 a day to fight, to be enlisted. They were paid $10 a day to be a soldier, and they had to give $3 a day of that $10 for clothing for their uniforms.
Okay. So they gave up $3.
Yeah.
Out of the 10 that they were given.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Now the white soldiers got paid $13 a day.
And what do they have to give up for
They
their
got
clothing?
paid $13 a day. Period.
Wow. So no stipulation there.
No. So those of you who think that maybe this is not a systemic thing or hasn't been going on for some time.
Well, it just said it right there in the books.
It's right there.
It's right there.
But I didn't learn about that, interestingly enough, in history.
I didn't either
in high school.
This is the first I've heard of it. And how many movies have we watched? How many biographies, how many documentaries have come across? And I've never heard that scenario at all until just now. Okay.
Yeah.
Literally, I've never heard that until just now.
Now we're blessed. Now listen.
Yeah.
I will defer a lot to Phil. This is what he got his degree in. It's history.
Yeah.
Well, the part that comes to my mind was I know that a lot of the troops were deprived quality materials. So it's like you may be marching and you two don't have shoes on. The three of us are black. You two don't have shoes on. So I'm just curious of where the $3 went to for the shoes and the clothing.
Right.
If it's wintertime, you don't have long sleeve, you don't have thermals,
right.
You don't have shoes. And so a lot of the troops were falling to the side because of just a lack of
frostbite.
So if you ever watched the movie Glory with Denzel,
that's right.
Yes. Where they were
dealing with that situation.
That situation was because in so many of these troops they did not even have materials. So like
right.
you know that you were taking my money, and you didn't give me things.
My resources that I need in order to fight for you.
And we're teammates. You're calling me the N-word as I'm barefoot in the cold.
Yes.
To defend you. Got it. Got it.
Like that has really
good
my
$3.
Hey, where's your $3?
Right.
Oh, and then there's probably taxes.
Then it'll be like, oh well, we need something for food. We got to feed you, right? You got to get something. Yeah. Ammunition. You need ammunition. Well, we're gonna charge you.
We'd love you to shoot that gun.
Yeah, for sure. But that's gonna cost $5. No, that's gonna be another $5 per bullet. Okay.
You wasted your bullets today.
Oh, sorry.
Sounds like my JUCO.
Oh boy. So
let me get 140 every 2 weeks, and they would take half.
Oh no.
So again, though,
shout out to Coach J.
Now I don't know. Maybe in the Civil War, I wasn't around then. I don't remember being around then. Right. Maybe the build was different.
What build?
That's why it was so expensive for clothes.
Yeah.
Taller, maybe. I don't know. Broader shoulders.
You talking about body shape build?
I'm guessing because I don't understand why it would cost.
No, I agree.
Why me?
To have that argument would be like
there's no racism.
Idiotically, because it would. Why would it matter if the material back then was probably even thinner?
It's probably cotton.
You know, if the material back then was even thinner and more resourceful, because the States wasn't like as if all of our resources was drained out by then. You can't tell me that there wasn't enough resources to do that, and not that too as well.
The white guy's pants, the crotches were too high. Never mind.
They're a little snug. Is that what you're saying?
That's $30 a month per soldier for less than perfect material. There's no LV or Gucci sign.
No.
Right. There's no chance. There's no Nike.
They paid $10 a day.
-3.
Was it
Minus the 3?
Yeah, I think it was a day, or maybe it was a week. $10 a week, maybe.
Okay.
And $13 a week. I forget, but anyway, whatever it was, $10 a day probably seems like a lot back then.
I wouldn't say so, but I would say the week thing does make more sense.
So maybe the week. So maybe it was $10 a week.
But 13. But even still, at that point, 10. You take away 3.
Yeah.
So now I'm stuck with 7, and yet it doesn't compute still.
No,
it doesn't compute at all whatsoever.
It does, yeah. And that's where class warfare. Never mind. Anyway, anywho,
you're still getting $12 a week times all those soldiers.
Yeah.
For uniforms, and like thousands of us don't have uniforms
at all whatsoever.
Yep.
It wasn't just like 1 or 2 of you guys didn't make the cut. Like most of us don't have proper attire.
Right. We just look like regular people just sitting there assisting you guys.
So where'd it go? $12 a month times thousands of soldiers go to?
I don't know. I don't know why you guys think that's unfair.
But your gold pins look wonderful.
I don't know why you guys.
All those stripes on your chest, all them, flags.
I don't think it's unfair. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I earned these.
That gun looks brand new compared to mine that I just got.
I earned.
I took it off.
Your holster is more than 5 of our uniforms.
No.
Again, I don't see the problem.
To get off their high horse.
Literal. Yeah.
Oh, see, yeah.
I don't know what you guys are referring to.
Oh, no, not at all. Okay.
We all thought, hey, we're all in the same boat.
Let's put fireplace in your tent.
I'll put it this way. Of course you don't, just because you're nice and warm when I'm sitting here freezing my tush off right now in the mud, and I'm sitting there almost barefooted. Basically barefooted, but almost half naked.
Bro, I'd be so mad if you took my money, beat me, called me the N-words, whipped me,
and my foot's in the mud.
I'm getting healed from the lashes on my back while you call me the N-word, sir.
Right.
And I'm freezing with no food.
We're on the same team. You guys have
the fact that I got
have all the same ability to be where I'm at.
No.
The fact you wake up in the morning like go.
Yes, yeah.
Hawks on 3.
The fact that I gotta sit there and do that with you is like, man, I'm gonna leave right now. If I can hide somewhere.
Rose, good morning. Good morning. She's working on a new show that'll be coming up here. I think it's gonna be really, really cool. Really, really needed. So
for that, the break.
Should put my show on.
Yep. So but you guys. Listen, I worked hard to get these stripes and the fireplace in the tent, right, and a cot off of the mud. You guys had all the same ability to do that. You just didn't work hard enough.
But I'm pretty sure you had me build it for you while you sat in that cot in the sense and just sitting there chilling.
I remember you were sitting on your horse saying, "Put your back into it."
Yeah. Lift with your back, not your legs. Right. That's basically what you're telling me as I'm building it, and now you're in there relaxing for me.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
You guys could have progressed through the ranks too. Right. You just decided you didn't want to work.
Yeah, sure.
The guy who said the N-word 38 times yesterday is going to promote me.
Norwegian.
Sir, no, sir.
Norwegian.
Sir, no, sir.
No, sir.
Sir, no, sir.
Norwegian is the N-word that I was using. No way, guys. Work harder. Put your back in it.
No shoes for you.
That's right. So there's that, right? Yeah. Just a quick piece of history that we definitely wanted to make sure that didn't get covered in 9th grade history class or anywhere 9th through 12th grade.
Nope.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure as growing up and that point you said, especially let's put it this way, growing up in the demographic where majority of the students are going to be black, and it's like you don't want to teach us that particular aspect in history.
Well, Florida voted against that. Florida banned black history.
Really?
Now they passed Asian American or Pacific Asian American history like a week later, which doesn't add insult to injury at all. But Florida banned teaching African American history in the past month? 2 months.
Wait, just recently?
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, okay, no, I'm missing in the news on that part.
At least maybe between here and February, somewhere in there.
You're telling me that they banned?
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So Florida does not at all whatsoever teach Black History Month.
It's banned.
It's banned because it's American history. We shouldn't.
So that being said, okay, if it's American history, so you mean to tell me you are going to teach me about Martin Luther King? You are going to teach me
we'll tell you the Mount Rushmore.
And the 5-5 is going to be
there.
Yeah. But even then, in the history, in the sense of just how you just said, the Civil War part, you're going to teach me that too?
Nope.
You're going to hide that?
No, yeah.
Okay. No, we're not going to hide it. We're just going to look the other way.
We're going to omit.
Or we're going to look over that scenario. We're just going to say, you know what?
Yep.
If you want to read more into it, here's some research. You can read into yourself.
Yep.
What did he say? It was like slavery was just personal mishaps of our forefathers. So it wasn't like this systemic thing. It was like you made a mistake, Kent made a mistake.
Times were
Washington
different.
dude.
Times were
Nobody's
different.
perfect.
Times were different.
Nobody's perfect.
I love how you're just barely patting me on the back, like it's okay right now. Don't worry about it. We're trying to change ourselves.
A personal mishap is like, you jaywalk.
It's not a personal mishap, man. This is a big ass. Sorry.
So Bree, hey Bree, welcome in. School's almost done, right?
Last day.
Hallelujah. So you think they'll implement more? What's that? AAS
American history
within
U.S. history? Heck nah.
No.
Still gonna be the same 7 pages.
Yeah, I want to say I agree with that.
Why would we ever want to leave Mount Rushmore?
Right, it works.
There are the 5 heads.
You gotta think about it.
It's the 5 heads that you basically.
We'll get to Jackson 5.
I love how you say it's the 5 heads that we eliminated in real life, so that way it then make progress for the future. I love that. I love that statement. I love that statement. I love how you guys are putting that out there in
trailblazers. They're trailblazers,
right?
They're trailblazers
at that moment.
Right.
Pew, pew.
Yeah. They're trailblazers now. At the time, they were the number 1 threat to America. Somehow,
there were terrorists.
Terrorists.
There were terrorists.
Let's be honest.
Followed.
Yes.
The Klan wasn't, but Martin Luther King was worth being bugged.
And then you attack, and then you look at because it was associated with Muslim religion in that sense. Like, okay, now that's also a big diagram we have to pay attention to too.
All right. If I say the name Shirley Chisholm, we've talked about Shirley before. Does anybody recognize that name and the significance of Shirley Chisholm? Chisholm. She lived from 1924 to 2005. No? Shirley is the first African American congresswoman. Right? Back in the 60s, she was elected out of New York, and she represented New York's 12th district from 1969 to 1983. Again, you would think this is a significant piece of not only history, but political history.
Yeah.
And you guys said you've never heard of her. She became the first woman to run for, are you ready for this? And this shocked me because I haven't heard of this. If I say the first African-American presidential candidate, who do you go to?
Obama? No, I'll go, what was it, Powell, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. I don't think he ever declared. Did Powell
or
run?
He was, or
maybe.
It was like in a sense.
So maybe Colin Powell.
Talks, right. The talks and conversations that you were going to go, but I'm going to back up because I'm getting threats.
Yeah. So in 1972, Shirley, this incredible lady, actually became the first woman to run for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination.
Holy shit.
Her campaign slogan, do you know what it was? Unbought and unbossed.
That's boss. That's a boss slogan.
Woo!
That's a boss.
In 1972.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now listen to me.
That has fucking power.
Unbought and unbossed. Man, this is how brilliant the lady was, right? So again, we always think of our political people. White guy will go, oh, good. Yeah. No, she's not on the take. No. Anyway.
Right.
Womp, womp, womp.
So that means that America would have been cool with the black woman free thinking.
Now,
wouldn't that be
right?
Wouldn't that be cool to have?
So now the sitting vice president Kamala, right, actually paid tribute to her in her 2020 presidential campaign announcement by using similar logo, and language.
Right.
So that's cool. But again, I didn't learn about Shirley.
I didn't know, not at all. This is my
in the
first time
public school sector.
You won't.
And that's the thing. The first time I'm hearing it now, but even through all these candidates and all these representation, Black History Month or whatever case may be, why has that still not
Phil,
been
you gotta
yet said?
speak louder into your mic.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Can you hear me?
No. All right. Yeah. Can't hear Phil.
Twinkle, twinkle, little stuff.
I mean, is that wait?
Get some hot fire real quick.
Let's put some facts.
I mean, I don't know. All right. Thank you. We'll just have him talk louder, closer to the mic.
All right.
We won't say that we keep the black guy's mic silent.
Oh,
never mind.
Anyway.
Right.
We'll be back after these messages. All right. So this lady, incredible. And that was not an easy time to be a public figure as an African American at all.
If I'm not mistaken, probably one of the worst times to be going in that.
Probably,
You're in the belly of the beast.
Right in there. Yes.
I mean, so you can imagine how brilliant this lady was. And like, F you, here we come. right? But again, we think of maybe Colin Powell or Barack Obama. We never learned about.
Now, my question to that part was when did she deceased?
She passed away in 2005.
Yeah.
So a political figure who's colored, I guess you would say, person of color. Thank you for correcting the phrase.
Henry, bro.
That's fine. No, thank you for rephrasing that. Thank you for rephrasing that.
Yeah.
I think I grew around a little too much like that, but that being said, she survived, she lived and moved past on, but not highlighted. But yet when these other figures go for such, gone.
Now my memory isn't what it used to be, but I don't even think I remember in 2005 anybody going, "Oh, today Shirley Chisholm passed away."
That's right. I didn't hear none of that nature. And I love to represent.
Maybe
I
people in the
love
12th
to
ward
shine.
of New York City, right? Maybe. I don't know.
Because there are some dudes out here from different states.
How about this?
But
Scottism. How about this? Not colored.
See, that's not.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you.
It wasn't me this time.
We got him corrected.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me this time, John.
I love the correction. Thank you.
How about if I bring up the gentleman Bayard Rustin? Bayard Rustin. He lived from 1912 to 1987. Now this guy, ring a bell?
No.
Ring a bell.
Not at all.
So listen, Dr. King, he's on the mount, right? Dr. King is credited for the March on Washington in August 1963, but it was actually Rustin who organized and strategized in the shadows as a gay man who had controversial ties to communism. Again, African American, different, making noise. He's got to be communist, right? Back then, commie's bad, 1963, right? He was considered too much of a liability to be on the front lines of the movement, gay and black. Whoo, you want to talk about a tough life in 1963 and 2023. And,
right.
Anyway, nonetheless, he was considered to be one of the most brilliant minds and served his community tirelessly while pushing for more jobs and better wages. Again, we don't hear. This was the first that I have heard of our good friend Bayard Rustin.
Yeah,
it was this. You're a history major. That come across? Did you do a paper on Bayard Rustin?
Nope.
Was that a chapter in a book that you saw?
He is a U.S. version of the Moors. You can study it. They won't teach it.
Yeah. You won't get the name until you cross with something newspaper wise, and that probably that too as well.
Yeah,
which is interesting. Which is the whole point. Like, if we have to do all this research to find these amazing people or events or things that actually did happen or the truth about these situations, like, and then you tell us that you're not going to teach it, like.
See, here's the thing, though, and then you and I talk about this all the time. I'm just curious by nature.
Right.
I love the shit that they didn't tell us. I want to dig into that because I'm like, why aren't they telling us?
I'm intrigued by why did they not tell us?
Right. So I love digging into this stuff going, this is so cool. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they have taught me this in 6th grade?
But I feel like it would resolve more issues. So like when the kneeling thing happened, right? If you're telling me, well, my grandfather served in the military, I was like, okay, well, so did my grandfather. He just didn't have shoes or warm blankets or anything proper, and it was called the N-word by his officers every day. Then we would both be able to understand, hey, listen, I get your side respectfully, but on my side, this is what his military experience looked like, and then this is what he was called when he came home. He was in those pins trenches and medals and all that uniform, and was told he couldn't sit at the counter and called boy at 40 years old.
Yeah,
I think we would help for a better understanding.
Yeah.
However, no one tells you that my grandfather didn't have shoes, socks, or blankets.
Well, right. I mean, so we like the lead singer, right? We don't. That's why like with Bayard, we like the lead singer. We didn't murder Bayard, but we took out Dr. King. So I understand what you're saying, but we don't ever ask who was playing drums.
Right.
Who wrote the song that he was singing? We just
don't look at the band. Right. We just look at the front
band
runner.
members of James Brown.
Right.
No. I really don't.
How about God rest her soul, Tina Turner?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, that too. Rest in peace.
Yeah. right? So we don't know the backup singers. We don't know the people, the brilliance, right? The producer, perhaps.
Which is, I think, one thing I've taught my brother and my sisters. I'm like, if you really want to know, like, because you are half black and half Mexican in that sense, you got to learn both histories, which sucks because you have to do your research to find out both histories. They're not going to teach you that in school. We got 1 month. We got 1 month, and at that month, it was like you said, the 5 figures at that point. It's like, that's all we're getting. So at that point, there's a whole spectrum of history. You got to look into all that, and all these names are coming up, which is good to hear. But why is it that we have to search for it? Why can't it just be highlighted?
I couldn't tell you respectfully. I could not tell you a Hispanic or Spanish Mount Rushmore.
I can't either.
Or start with Don Quixote.
See, again, doesn't come across.
Don Quixote, and then we'll have the coffee guy. What was his name?
Wow.
You see? You see what I'm talking about?
I'm saying, like, it's
right.
Doesn't make
much as they've contributed. I can't come up with respectfully 5.
Right.
I've been watching Better Call Saul, so Don Julio. Don Julio is there.
No, but you know who gets highlighted? The kingpins, the drug dealers, the ones that come out.
El Chapo. Hey, there's one.
See, why do I know his name more than actual representation of Congress? Exactly. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't.
No.
Programming, bro.
Thank you.
Yes.
Tune in.
Right.
People were just in the bush with spears and stuff.
That's right.
No kings.
None at all whatsoever.
No.
Savages. We just ran Europe for 700 years.
Savages.
Yes. Doesn't go away anywhere. What's okay.
Right in your neck.
All right, this one, I know everybody will know this
got
one.
Some steak tonight.
This one I know everybody will know this name. Claudette Colvin.
Another name.
Claudette Colvin, Colvin, still alive today. Born in 1939.
Okay.
And Oprah played her, I believe, in a movie. But before Miss Parks, right? And she's one of the
5.
One of the 5. Before Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, there was a brave 15-year-old girl who chose not to sit at the back of the bus. That young girl was Claudette Colvin, turning her constitutional rights to remain seated near the middle of the vehicle.
Okay.
Colvin challenged the driver and was subsequently arrested. 15 years old, arrested. Right? She was the first woman to be detained for her, I'm just reading this, resistance. However, her story isn't nearly as well known.
Stop resisting.
However, don't tase me, don't.
Tase. My hands are up. What you mean?
Run motion.
However, her story isn't nearly as well known as Parks.
You can shoot him if you say stop resisting.
Again, why? Because she sat in the front of the bus, we go to Parks and not in the middle. 15-year-old girl. Oh, but then we arrested a minor.
Another one.
Boop. Right?
You think it was a casual, calm arrest? Hey, come with us.
Hell to the no. I have to say no. Just because of the fact that at that time, especially that being young, she's getting tossed out.
Yeah.
Literally.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not Oprah did not.
Rihanna makes a good point. She says, I believe that politics colorism played a huge role in her story versus Rosa Parks. So being a dark-skinned African-American versus a light-skinned African-American, colorism.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If I'm going to paint this picture of the Rushmore, would I rather have Claudette or Rosa?
Yeah. There you go. Right.
That's
that's a good piece of that.
That's a good that's a good point.
All right. So but here's what Kent sits in the middle of the bus. The pink skinned Kent sits in the middle of the bus, and I'm just being a rowdy teenager.
Kids be kids, boys be boys.
However, Miss Colvin does, and she gets arrested. My goodness. 15 years old. Otherwise it was Andy taking me home to talk to my parents. Hey, Kent stepped up out of line today.
So
come on,
you know what I'm saying?
Talk to him.
You mean that African Americans got arrested for the same behavior that little white teenagers do all the time?
Of course,
but you got Andy that could take you home to your parents.
It's also the same thing. Right. It's also the same scenario of you get pulled over, I get pulled over, I get 15 years, you get a slap on the wrist. Man. Oh, that makes sense. That's perfect. That's great. It's good stuff.
Team.
Yeah.
We're all equal here, guys.
Yeah. Right. You got the same. All right. This gal was played by Oprah, so I apologize. I had it wrong. But this next one, Annie Lee Cooper, from 1910 to 2010. She's 100
Sounds
years old.
familiar. But
Annie Lee Cooper, the Selma, Alabama native, played a crucial part in the 1965 Selma voting rights movement. But it wasn't until Oprah played her in the 2014 Oscar-nominated film Selma that people really took notice of Cooper's activism. She's lauded for punching Alabama Sheriff Jim Clark in the face. You remember that now in history class.
Yeah.
In history class, they talked about that. No,
I want to say yes, but I honestly I don't.
Probably are thinking of the movie. I don't
more
recall
of the movie.
it.
I can only say I didn't hear that in class at all whatsoever. No, I don't remember that because in my head, I'm like, if I would have definitely heard that in class, I'm the type of person that would highlight the fact that you mean to tell me that chick just was like whack 'em hands, like really? Sleep. Don't think so. That doesn't cross my mind. Right. That would be a conversation that all my friends would have.
So again, if she's celebrated for anything, she's celebrated for being violent.
Yeah.
Right. And not her brilliancy of fighting to restore and protect voting rights.
That's more famous slap than the Will Smith.
Close.
Close. But yes, she'll be villainized. She's violent.
Yes.
Versus all the brilliant things that she's done.
Yep.
Man.
Just because as soon as they add that word to it being violent, it's gonna stigma for the rest of her. Yeah. It's gonna stand there.
Yeah. She hit.
How dare she? How dare she?
Probably had something to do with being
no respect, no appreciation of the law.
Yeah.
Probably had something to do with her kids getting bit by a German Shepherd and called the N-word 15 times to her face at point blank range. Yeah, it's probably why she retaliated. But
boy, you're so angry this morning, Phil. My goodness.
Coffee.
Coffee. For no reason. For no reason at all.
Coffee.
She put her hands on that nice officer.
Again, Memorial Day weekend. So we're just strolling down memory lane here today on the bridge, right? That's all.
I like good history. Good history.
Now let me throw a curveball at you.
Oh boy!
When I say women's rights, and I say the person who really started the women's movement, what color did you just see? She had blonde hair, didn't she?
It was Jenner.
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry.
All right.
Hey, I think it was Jenner. I think
I'm over here like
being on the cover, you know what I mean? I think that's what helped her out, you know?
Right. So you understand what I'm saying?
It was
be like, let's put it this way, like white chicks. You're thinking it, but I said it. Like, you know.
Right. I mean, right. Yeah. That's where we went. We went to a Karen real quick, a blonde-haired Karen.
Yeah.
Right. A woman's right. But we didn't think of Dorothy Height. Dorothy Height, she lived from 1912 to 2010. So again, just a mere 13 years ago passed. I don't remember anything. She is actually hailed the godmother of the women's movement.
Okay, but 2000, are they really going to highlight her as that?
All right.
Because then you got to give a lot of credit to African American women. And as a country, do we do that?
Do they?
But listen to this.
Do that, right?
She used her background in education and social work to advance women's rights. She was a leader in the Young Women's Christian Association, otherwise known as the YWCA, right? And the president of the National Council of Negro Women for more than 40 years. She was also among the few women present at the 1963 March on Washington, where Dr. King delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech.
Hey.
And I missed that chapter, or I must have been sick that day in school.
On the 11th page, and your book didn't have one.
Yeah, I think that was the page. Exactly. I think that was the page that was stuck together with something else.
That was the asterisk at the bottom.
We had to overlook that at the moment because obviously we got a short month, so we got to hurry up and get through the work.
Yeah,
if they were 29 days, we would have got you.
Yeah,
you guys got
and then plus
month of the year.
Plus, I think we have let's say a teacher institute day that we're probably gonna be off. It's gonna be 2 days, so we gotta cut it pretty quickly. Afterwards.
It's her Columbus.
Yeah, shut it short.
Yeah,
colonization wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
So yeah, right. So again, who we have been led to believe leading many movements, especially that movement, was a pink-skinned person, right? And,
okay, name me a topic that you think in this country that they openly give credit to an African American woman.
Somebody hit the crickets button.
Yeah, yep.
Right. So they literally had to make a movie called Hidden figures to highlight three brilliant African American women who were the reason why we landed on them. Like they had to do that and show that it took an African American in a room full of the world's smartest and brightest to show no, this is the equation needed to land safely and then get back to them.
Allegedly.
I
mean, that was 1969. We had cameras on the moon. We had everything on the moon. We haven't been back. Never mind. Anyway,
one small step for. Hold on, Tom's walking to the background.
Wait,
take two.
All right. If I say female airplane pilot, who do you go to? Amelia Earhart. Bessie Coleman lived from. Bessie Coleman in 1892 to 1926. Have you heard of Bessie?
No.
The first licensed black pilot, not woman, the first licensed black pilot in the world. In the world. Not America's. In the world. Again, we talk aviation. We hear about the Wright brothers, and like we should, right? They created a plane
because the Wright brothers sounds like the. You know what?
Right. Sounds like the
their
right.
last name was probably Johnson or something. Did you say right?
No, the White brothers.
So Coleman wasn't recognized as a pioneer in aviation until after her death. History has favored Amelia Earhart or the Wright brothers, as we said. Coleman, who went to flight school in France in 1920, paved the way for a new generation of diverse flyers like the Tuskegee Airmen, Blackbirds, and Flying Hobos. Now, we've heard of the Tuskegee Airmen, right? That again, we'll touch them. But the Blackbirds and the Flying Hobos, it was new to me as well.
You hit a nerve again.
All right.
So,
boy,
you said that you've heard. Right, here we go. You talked about the Tuskegee Airmen, right?
Yeah.
And they may be a close 7 on the list of the top 5 or whatever that you'll hear about. But again, we'll hear about the Tuskegee Airmen. Man, there were these black pilots, and they made sure that so many flights came back safely, and they never lost a bomber, and X, Y, and Z. Impressive. Same. Your grandfather served. My grandfather served. Part of Tuskegee is also the Tuskegee experiments.
Heard about that.
But we won't talk about that in the school. We're like, if you do have people who have relatives, we actually injected syphilis into our own military just to test to see how they would respond, go crazy, go blind, whatever. We would not give them any penicillin or things needed so that they would recover.
But not all the military.
Not all our military.
Chosen
just the
few,
black
selected
at
random.
At random. Okay.
White,
Marcus.
black. Okay. white. Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony, you guys come in the room.
Antoine.
See something now. Antoine.
Hey, everybody's getting this shot. Don't worry about it.
Everybody, Duncan, can you touch the rim? All right.
Let's go.
Listen, you're going to feel a burning sensation, but never mind.
Can you imagine? Like,
it's all part of the test. It's all part of the test.
I'm here to serve the red, white, and blue, and you call me to a back room and inject me with syphilis just to see how my body responds. You can't kind of see why certain people aren't necessarily all gun-ho about trusting the behavior.
Trusting your process, your like your whole view on things, and how
you guys have the same opportunities as I have.
No, because I'm blind. Because this is
it's all
right.
You guys
the damn drug got me. That's what it was.
No,
right.
We have all.
How can I trust you?
So then the next time the country says, "Hey, we're giving out free injections,"
you guys have the freedom to work just as hard as I do.
Just like you're saying, I have the freedom to deny that I want to do this test. Sure.
No.
Then you're AWOL.
Yeah, we're just
right. Then I'm AWOL. Then
the guys in the other room. The guys in the other room are getting shots too.
Mentally unstable.
You know, black and Hispanic.
Guys in the other room are getting shots too. Don't worry about it.
Man.
Yeah, I just say
unlawful discharge.
Unlawfully discharged for disobeying an order.
Catherine Johnson.
Disobeying an order.
Who's Catherine Johnson? Should I know that one?
No.
Hidden Figures.
Oh, Hidden Figures. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, just trust.
Yeah. Right. Just go with it.
Just roll with me.
Right. Just roll
how about Robert Sengstack Abbott? Robert Sengstack Abbott. Now, this is he was born 1868 and lived to 1940. All right. And if he ever gets played by somebody, it might be Will Smith. I mean, it's
on the left.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a guy.
Gives you that.
It might be one of these, but it doesn't show which one it doesn't say which one it is.
The one on the right could be a bald Craig Robinson.
It really could.
I think that'd be amazing.
We learned about him. Yeah. No. Yeah.
No.
No.
Sorry.
You only get 5.
This guy creative actually he had the creative vision. Many of the black publications of today, such as Ebony, Essence, Black Enterprise, and Upscale, wouldn't exist. In 1905, Abbott founded the Chicago Defender weekly newspaper. Right. The paper originally started out as a 4-page pamphlet, increasing its circulation with every edition. Abbott and his newspaper played an integral part in encouraging African Americans to migrate from the South for better economic opportunities. Seems pretty important to me.
That does. Thanks. It would say so. I mean, like, you would want to try to, and show that to the kids. You would want them to feel some type of way about it.
Now again,
Would you?
Yeah. Now again, I
Chicago greatness.
Is your plan really that way?
Chicago greatness.
Seriously?
So here's
when.
Yeah.
Abbott in his newspaper. Here's the feel good, right? And again, let's be honest. This is the feel good. Abbott and his newspaper played an integral part in encouraging African Americans to migrate from the South for better economic opportunities. What he doesn't go on to say is he had to rebuild his business 18 times because it was burned down. The paper, he couldn't get paper because he was African American to print those pamphlets on.
But you want to know why we won't hear that?
We want to feel good about his job.
We won't hear nothing about that until someone does like an interview or someone does a podcast nowadays and explain that section of the point of view if they were living today. We won't get none of those details until they actually say it themselves.
They burned his facility. Why would other people burn their own community down?
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Wouldn't you want to flourish? Wouldn't you want to, make a better living?
2 wrongs don't make a right, guys.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I'm just throwing it out there, just so that you know. This one, we may have some best show ever. I tell you, Phil challenged me. I'm dropping it. I said, hey, let's do a little bit of
history.
It's memorial, so we're going to memorialize some of the trailblazers.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
Some of those that weren't involved,
praised or held up or even taught about. This one may. I knew this name right off the bat. Ethel Waters. Ethel Waters, from born in 1896, lived to 1977. Ethel Waters. Waters first entered the entertainment business in the 1920s as a blues singer and then became a Broadway star. Right. Later in life, she made history for her work in television. She was the first African American to star in her very own TV show, The Ethel Waters Show. And she was nominated for an Emmy in 1962. Now, I can come home and on MeTV still catch Leave It to Beaver. I can still catch Andy Griffith Show. I can still catch the Dick Van Dyke Show or Mary Tyler Moore. But I don't think I've ever come across the rerun of our good friend, the Ethel Waters Show.
Nope.
So what you're saying is, in all this time that's passed, there hasn't been a single station that said, hey, let's give a shout out to the historical black shows, right? Man, if there was a...
Well, that being said, too,
Jan, new famous singer. My mom and dad loved her. Yeah.
Kind of going back to that, too, is like, I'm thinking about it now, like all the reruns in the sense, it's like, okay.
Did you say reruns?
Reruns. I have to say reruns. Damn, my kids, I swear to God. Okay. One was historically Bill Cosby, but we can't watch that no more because why? Something incident, of course. Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We really can't watch that neither now because guess what? Something occurred that was tragic in the Oscars. And now George Lopez is probably the other, now somewhat famous, but he's about to head out the way just because he discredited, in a sense, or discriminated against another Hispanic comedian that's trying to make it come up.
Right.
So all those that are that made some type of impact in that sense of doing those shows, there's some now grease under there.
We'll look the other way.
Yeah, we'll have to go.
Tuck them away.
Violet. Put it aside.
Violet.
So now let's tune in some other shows. Let's put on the Nanny. Let's put on.
Hey, we've got Steve Harvey out there.
Yeah, we got Friends. We can't do in living color. We got Friends.
Right, the knockoff.
Yeah.
Stole all their ideas. Right?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so what you're saying is, with all the stations that are out so far, none of them decided to put black or even Hispanic historically famous shows on their station. So it's almost like there needed to be like a Black Hispanic television station.
Oh,
one each at a time.
Created so that we can get representation since no one else wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Would we then be wrong if we created our own station? Brown Television, Brown Entertainment Television,
There you go.
BET, if you want to call it. I don't know.
Right.
Just to be crazy.
Whatever.
Let's just put it out there.
Just so we can finally get representation. Would that be then wrong since you guys won't put us on television?
It's
Even
the
that,
positive shows.
but even then, out of all the channels, one each. Oh,
let's just get our foot in the door. Let's just get our foot in the door.
Hey, man, we can get in there. We can make more
And
somehow. We can get in the boardroom and add more to us. Okay, but
and here's how I answer that. As long as I own it, that's fine.
Right. Dang it. Wow. That means she's gone. And
again, I'm the majority.
Well, again, I gotta tread lightly. If I can't toe the line, then guess what?
Estella's gone, and Real Life with Megan Thee Stallion is going to be on next, guys. Great.
Yeah. No, I got no problem with that.
Housewives of Chicago. Great. Thanks, Kent.
That's it.
Yes.
Jessica says you guys are killing me for real. This is hitting fantastic energy. So real, so sad, but point is crystal clear. Yeah, we ones. We ones.
I start trends.
Yeah.
I start trends here.
Yeah. All right. Let's move along. Let's stay with this.
Not touching that.
Now this one.
Okay.
This one I've never heard of. No, Jan, you Gwendolyn Brooks. If I say Gwendolyn Brooks, she lived from 1917 to the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Go, Gwendolyn Brooks. Anyone?
No.
Anyone?
Pass.
No. Brooks is considered a beautiful lady, right? Gorgeous lady. Yeah. Right.
Brooks looks like my babysitter.
Brooks is considered to be one of the most revered poets of the 20th century. Now let's just end at that period. Oh, yeah. See, Jan, great. She's one of the most revered poets of the 20th century.
No.
Not in the history book.
Not at all.
She was the first Black author to win the Pulitzer Prize for Annie Allen in 1950, and she served as poetry consultant to the Library of Congress, becoming the first Black woman to hold that position.
Mm-hmm.
She was also the poet laureate of the state of Illinois. We live in Illinois.
Yep.
We haven't heard of this lady.
Not at all.
Unbelievable. And many of her works reflected the political and social landscape of the 60s, including the civil rights movement and the economic climate. Now, she revered. Let's just end that. The most revered. Let's keep that. That means there's no, but she's the GOAT.
You got options.
She's the GOAT of the 20th century.
Someone sat there and said, the most revered or Paul Revere? Let's go with Paul. Let's go, Paul. Give us up. Paul. Paul again. Paul again.
That looks good. That looks nice.
She did all that. This dude rode a horse.
Yeah.
She did all of that. He rode a horse and said the British. That's all he's known for. She did all that. Never mentioned.
No, whatsoever.
The most revered or this dude? And
not even. Like in the 5th grade when you're talking about Illinois history, where is she? The most revered. That means she's the GOAT. There's nobody the most revered.
And still nothing.
Crickets. I don't understand. I understand. I just don't understand.
Right.
You understand.
I would like to.
You understand.
I would like to understand more.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Phil Wallace. You laugh out loud. Picking on Paul Revere because he was scared running like a. Never mind. All right.
Well, some chick on Instagram tore him apart today. Like his story probably doesn't even line up. I'm gonna send it to you.
Paul?
Yeah.
Oh no, he was scared.
But like the likeliness that he did what he did, there.
Oh yeah, no, I've read that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She lit him. Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send me that too.
Louisiana. She lit him up.
Send me that too.
Yeah. Alice Coachman lived from 1923 to 2014. Growing up in Albany, Georgia, the soon-to-be track star got an early start running on dirt roads and jumping over makeshift hurdles. She became the first African-American woman from any country to win an Olympic gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
An Olympic gold medal. The very first African-American woman from any country.
Don't remember that. But I do remember them putting, the big post of everybody putting the fist up in the air. But I remember that one.
That's the Olympics. Right?
That's what we got. That's what they have to.
Our good friend Jesse Owens.
That's what.
Right. It was in the 1948 Summer Olympics in London. She set the record for high jump, leaping 5'6" 1/8". That's landing on straw. They probably moved it over to the yard. No, you can't land on that straw.
No. Over there.
Throughout her athletic career, she won 25 national titles, 10 of which were in the high jump. She was officially inducted into the National Track and Field Hall of Fame in 1975 and the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame in 2004. Now, I don't know. I didn't do research to find out when the Olympic Hall of Fame was.
When it started.
Okay. Yeah. But this is the first ever African-American woman to win a gold medal in 1948. So if there was a Hall of Fame,
you would think
that was a first ballot nomination.
Right off the bat.
And it took until 2004. And I'm going to guarantee you it was probably, we probably should. Sidebar, guys.
The way the world is moving, I think we should. I think we got to add it in there.
Throw that. Right? Yeah.
The way your mind is running, I can tell you're contemplating it. So before you contemplate it, let me hurry up and put it in there. So that way it distracts you, go somewhere else.
And let's not even vote on it. Let's say that's an honorary.
Yeah. Let's have an incident happen down south too as well, just so that way it also helps in the news to limelight and shadow this incident. So your attention isn't there. That's all.
They got the president now. Let's just go ahead and give him this.
Right.
Jesus Christ. So needy.
Right. Right.
What more do they want?
What more?
Golly, I give you a famous artist. I give you a president. What is it, guys? Come on. We met our quota.
Everybody from our team gets in the history books, but you guys who are revered and man, now we're at 15 pages for these guys.
Come on now.
350-page book.
Oh, and look at that. She Bree Newer, athlete, and she's pretty sure that was the first Black woman to be sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Right.
I would like to know that.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
Not important to put into the history books, though.
Not as important. No, not at all.
First to ever win a good. No.
Yeah, we'll talk about the white guy who broke a mile.
Yeah, or we'll talk about
4-minute mile.
We'll talk about Jenner winning his Olympic world medals at that time period too.
Because what that
did.
Yeah.
Hers.
And the role that can play.
Right.
For great.
Let's highlight that more.
How about Jane Bolin? Well, let me back up one, actually. I like this guy. Gordon Parks. Ooh. Gordon Parks, 1912 to 2006. Gordon Parks. Good-looking fellow. Nice stash. Nice mustache.
Parks only, in my mind, just heroes.
Going under the bus. First African-American photographer on the staff of Life magazine. Now, magazines, Tony, were these periodicals that came out so often.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I heard there was one big one, People magazine.
Yeah. This guy later helped found Essence.
Founded?
Yeah. We don't know him. He also was the first Black writer and director of a studio film, and his second movie, Shaft, helping to shape the blaxploitation era in the 70s.
Nah. See, he played a role in Black male masculinity.
Yeah. No, we can't highlight.
If we can't tarnish? Nah.
No.
Can't have that.
So listen to this. Parks famously told Life magazine in 1999, I saw that the camera could be a weapon against poverty, against racism, against all sorts of social wrongs. I knew at that point I had to have a camera.
Yeah. He sounds questionable.
Yeah.
If there's time, we can.
Sounds like he has some different views. It sounds like he has an intent to do something that's not part of the plan.
That's right. Amazing, right? We met up. That's right. How about Jane Bolin? Jane Bolin, 1908 to 2007. Boy, they had long lifespans. Man, in the 90s, 100 years old.
You're not murdered in your 20s.
Yeah. We are not. Again. Facebook, YouTube, everybody out there. We are not.
Typically, how it goes.
Those that survive cannot be told.
Again, this is not hate speech. We are not promoting violence in any shape of form.
That's true. Not at all.
What we are doing is we're highlighting trailblazers.
Yes.
That's it.
Opening up the eyes of what the history was.
Jane Bolin. Jane Bolin is a pioneer in law. Jane, again, this is somebody. So if we're all about equality and equity, right? And you can do anything you want. You can even be the president of the United States. Why don't we know Jane Bolin? She was the first Black woman to attend Yale Law School in 1931. In 1939, she became the first Black female judge in the United States. The first Black female judge in the United States. Again, nothing on this incredible woman. One of her significant contributions throughout her career was working with private employers to hire people based on their skills, as opposed to discriminating against them because of their race. She served on the boards of the NAACP, Child Welfare Leagues of America, and the Neighborhood's Children's Center. Again, pretty important woman here.
And my view
Swept
on that
under
too,
the rug.
right? My point of view is on that part too as well. You wouldn't want to highlight that to the young women growing up in this world.
Yeah, hello.
You wouldn't want to show those that hey, you know, Phil, if you would have a daughter, right?
Right.
Wouldn't you want that to be told to your daughter? But no. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a YouTube video.
Okay, but
we're gonna
make
a music video. Yeah, we're gonna make a music video. And it's going to be all over social media that I would love for you to go on TikTok and copy. Right. So let's instead of learning this, I want you to see this and learn this.
Again, I will ask you to close your eyes, everybody who's watching, and think of a time you've seen the promotion of African-American female greatness.
I'm just close my eyes. I've just never.
It's not ratchet. It's not hood.
No.
Well,
it didn't take
other than for political leverage.
Yeah,
come on,
female greatness. Oprah.
It didn't take. Let's put it this way: it didn't take Beyonce to get recognition until I was cheated on. I was hurt. So I got to change my look and my demeanor to go into being a ratchet girl who I was never raised to be an ratchet.
That's different. Yeah. Okay. Here's this book you should read so you'll feel better. Other than that,
Jessica never.
Other than that, their accomplishments.
All right, listen now again. She's a trailblazer. This is a feel-good moment. Went to law school. Let's roll the tape back to 1931 when she entered. She was not sitting in the front of the classroom, or was she probably in the classroom?
Right. This is 1931 Yale.
1931 Yale. Right. This is. You're going to sit over here. I'm going to do it because I have a conscience, and I think this is cool, and you want to learn. So thank you for cleaning my office. This is more.
Told me that you have to be here. So look, just sit in the corner and don't say anything.
You understand what I'm saying?
Don't say nothing. Just
right.
Try to keep up.
If even that, or was it? Well, yes, I attended Yale because I was the housekeeper of this professor, and he saw that I was brilliant. So I got my law degree, and then it was too late for them to do anything. Right? I mean, right?
I mean, that's not the scenario.
That's not the scenario at all.
Imagine though. Can you imagine being like her in her class?
No, I can't.
You can't do a homework assignment or whatever because your room was graffitied or inward or vandalized or whatever.
I can't.
And then beside you, as you're talking to your professor, Chad walks in. He says, I just really have a bad headache. I didn't get my homework done on time. It's okay, buddy. Take your time.
Take your time.
Take
a minute.
But you stop making excuses.
Yeah. Right.
This
is your chance. One and only chance. You got to make it.
Do you want it or not?
Obviously, you got to put in the work.
All right.
Stop playing.
So listen. Again, Memorial Day.
Don't give me that card.
Right. Listen, this is Memorial Day again. We are highlighting trailblazers of freedom, trailblazers in the American history that perhaps you may not have heard of.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Now, this is one of my favorites. I do know this one, but this is one of my favorite. Ruby Bridges. Ruby Bridges. She's still alive today, born in 1954. Cutest little kid. And Bridges probably had no idea that the bold act she committed in 1960 would set off a chain reaction leading to the integration of schools in the South. She was just 6 years old when she became the first African-American student to attend William Frentz Elementary in Louisiana at the height of desegregation. Now, the Ruby Bridges Foundation exists to inspire the next generation of leaders to end racism together, one step at a time. And that, listen, she She's just a little girl who wanted to go to school.
Yeah. That's all it was.
And again, I'm going to say that wasn't easy. As you see the back in the day, the white school with the white police officers, the white principal, everything, right?
I'd be afraid to go to middle school in Louisiana today.
Hey, right.
At the height of it,
right,
where they don't have to hold back.
Mae Johnson. We're just going to keep rolling for a little minute. Mae Jameson, right? You guys remember Mae Jameson?
Nope.
Reading about that? It isn't just the first African American woman who orbited into space aboard the shuttle Endeavour. She's also a physician, teacher, and Peace Corps volunteer. After her work with NASA, she founded the Jameson Group, which develops scientific and technological advancements. She continues to work towards helping young women of color get more involved in technology, engineering, and math careers. Nice. Yeah, but we don't celebrate her, do we?
Black woman education? Hell no.
We just don't.
Why would we?
Right?
Again.
No, why would we? I mean, I think it's more entertaining and more beneficial for the young women in this world, or even at that younger generation, to watch more of these
videos.
Yeah, watch these TikTok videos of just nothing but representation of that instead. Show your body, show your wealth, be the woman.
Well, that's all they are.
Yeah.
So that's all we should show.
Right.
That's it.
And because
that's all we see them as.
And because it's Memorial Day weekend, we're going to finish with this the right way. Okay. When I say an incredible general in the U.S. Army, African American, you think of Colin Powell. Nobody ever thinks of our good friend Benjamin O. Davis Sr., 1877 through 1970. He was the first Black general in the U.S. Army. He served for 50 years, beginning as a temporary first lieutenant during the Spanish-American War. Throughout his service, Davis was a professor of military science at Tuskegee and Wilberforce University, commander of the 369th Infantry of the New York National Guard, special assistant to commanding general. Among other positions, he received the Bronze Star Medal and the Distinguished Service Medal, and is buried at Arlington National Cemetery. Yet, we have not heard of this man, Benjamin.
And my question is,
Davis.
how would you say it? Lighter skinned?
Yeah.
Light skin or tone? Is that what's going on here? Powell's a lighter skin tone?
Yeah, that's
just gentlemen, same thing.
But he's still teammate. He's still light skin too.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we only get one.
Yeah, you got to choose one or the other.
Now, if you think about all the statues, I can't talk about statues. We talk about removal of statues and things that those people did, and phrases, and stuff like that.
Right.
We'll make statues of those guys who turned on their own countrymen. However, what we won't do is memorialize this individual who did positive stuff.
Right.
So the slaughterer of the countrymen gets a statue. This guy doesn't get mentioned. But stop erasing history, guys. Okay, I hear you.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
So that is our walk down memory lane for Memorial Day weekend of some of the trailblazers of American history that you, the listener, many of the listeners had no idea about, nor were taught about in your American history classes.
So the next time you agree to not teach a certain thing, understand you're continuing omitting valuable information.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Spanish history, Mexican American history, Asian history, African American history,
right?
By just choosing not to even be open to learning about,
so
possibly discovering the truth,
right? And
great people like
and
that.
we'll hear
we'll wait until you
and we'll hear
until
of
you're
like
30 years old to kind of have a conscience finally to kind of do the research yourself.
Yeah.
Well, what's the point of education? You know what? Shut up.
Yeah.
So anyway, folks, that's why we like building a bridge. How did I do with you? You were like, your ears are open. How do we do? Huh?
Oh, man. Barbecue, brother. See you on Monday.
Hey, how do we do? Right?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
So my mind, I'm always the curious one, right? So this stuff fascinates me, and it fascinates me because they're brilliant people, but it also fascinates me as to why they're left out.
Exactly. Why can't I see a movie about them? Why can't I see a show about them?
Why does it have to be a movie that teaches?
Well, here's that's another thing. Yeah. Way of learning. You can't read? Fine. We're going to show you something. But why can't we do so?
But why do I have to make the movie?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to make the movie?
Right.
Why wouldn't I want to partner up with somebody to make the movie? Why not?
Why not?
Come on. You want to invest? You want to make? You want to create?
Hey,
create.
hey guys, that's because I'm on the cot with a wood stove in my tent. And
but when I bring this business plan to you, you're like, nah, it seems a high risk.
And then
denied for the loan.
Yeah, low reward.
And it's this. Do you have an attorney for this?
Yes.
My idea. Thanks.
Copywritten.
Yes. Let me call my attorney right quick. Hey, I got a great idea.
We'll travel the world, Kent. We'll eat delicious food and call it a taste of history.
Hey, that's like our good friends over at Guzman and Guzman.
Oh, yeah.
The new burrito place in Crystal Lake.
Oh, I know about that. But that sounds good to me.
Good.
It's owned by 2 white German guys. Neither of them are named Guzman.
Wow.
Welcome to colonization.
Hey.
Good business proposition there.
You've been colonized.
Yes.
I'm your host.
Hey.
I will guide you to how to handle this. Take all the time you need. I will be honest with you. It doesn't get easier.
No, not at all.
It does not get easier.
No.
It does. I gotta go there because I guess it's supposed to be good burritos. Guzman burritos.
It's probably same thing they do.
But now you can't use the Spanish Guzman. You got to use Guzman.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah, do the little hyphenated name right there on the Z part. Okay, sure.
You're like unseasoned fruit and verde sauce.
Yes. Somebody definitely did. I don't think it has Hispanic cooked this thing. It's the flavor is a little off.
It's authentic.
It's a little bland.
I'm not saying anything. I haven't eaten there. I heard it's good.
Okay.
It is a franchise, right? So it's franchised out.
Why is there hummus in my enchiladas?
Right. Okay. All right. Listen, from us here at 21.6. Thank you. Look at like, share, subscribe.
Great.
Keep your eye out because Bridging Civil Tension is going to get their own YouTube page here coming up. Every one of our shows will have their own YouTube page, so you'll have to like, subscribe to all those. Hey, hey, brother. Right. So I hope and pray that y'all that this just opens your eyes just a little bit, that you start scratching your head and become as curious as I am to understand just how brilliant our brothers and sisters are, even if they're not the same shade as we are. Right. And maybe for Labor Day, we'll have you back and we'll go down the the Hispanic Mexican because you guys work really hard.
Sure. Of course we do. Yeah, right. Of course we do. All we do is just say in the all we do is sit in the field.
Crystal Lake the Break. If you do want to help out with the youth, Crystal Lake the Break over there by Hobby Lobby off of 14. Amazing people making a difference in the community. Thank you so much, Brenda, for the hat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Crystal Lake the Break. Fantastic people.
Yeah. So listen, share this out because the more people who know, the better. The better. Exactly. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Jessica. Everybody who's joined us. Have a safe, and happy, Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
And just remember, nothing good ever happens after midnight.
Yes.
And go get a massage.
Go get a massage.
That's it. Let me get out of here.